Inanna, also known as Ishtar in later Mesopotamian mythology, was a prominent goddess in ancient Sumerian mythology. She was revered as the goddess of love, beauty, fertility, war, and wisdom. Inanna was one of the most important deities in the Sumerian pantheon, and her stories and worship spanned thousands of years in the ancient Near East. In Sumerian mythology, Inanna was the daughter of the moon god Nanna and the fertility goddess Ningal. She was often depicted as a young, beautiful woman adorned with symbols of her power, such as the eight-pointed star and the lion. Inanna was associated with the planet Venus, which was seen as both a morning and an evening star and was considered a symbol of love and fertility. One of the most famous myths about Inanna is the descent of Inanna, or Inanna's descent to the underworld. In this myth, Inanna decides to visit the underworld, ruled by her sister Ereshkigal, the queen of the dead. Before descending, Inanna instructs her faithful servant Ninshubur to seek help from other gods if she does not return within 3 days. As Inanna passes through the 7 gates of the underworld, she is required to remove a piece of clothing or jewelry at each gate as a symbolic gesture of surrender and humility. By the time she reaches the throne room of Ereshkigal, she is completely naked and vulnerable. Enraged by Inanna's audacity, Ereshkigal orders her to be killed and hung on a hook as a corpse. Meanwhile, Ninshubur seeks help from the god Enki, who creates 2 creatures from the dirt under his fingernails to rescue Inanna. These creatures, known as the Kurgara and the Galatur, sympathize with Inanna's plight and convince Ereshkigal to revive her. However, Ereshkigal insists that someone must take Inanna's place in the underworld. Inanna returns to the world of the living but is accompanied by her husband Dumuzid, who must spend half of the year in the underworld as her substitute. This myth symbolizes the cyclical nature of life, death, and rebirth, as well as the interconnectedness of the earthly and underworld realms. Inanna's journey to the underworld represents a quest for wisdom and self-discovery, as she confronts her own mortality and emerges transformed by the experience. In addition to her role as a goddess of love and fertility, Inanna was also associated with war and justice. She was often depicted as a fierce warrior wielding weapons such as the bow and arrow or the mace. Inanna's martial aspect represented her ability to protect her followers and uphold order in the world. Inanna was worshipped throughout ancient Mesopotamia, and her cult centers were located in cities such as Uruk, Eridu, and Babylon. Temples dedicated to Inanna served as centers of religious and social life, where priests and priestesses conducted rituals to honor the goddess and ensure the fertility of the land. In art and literature, Inanna was depicted in various forms, including statues, reliefs, and hymns. She was celebrated in poetry and song as the embodiment of feminine beauty, passion, and power. Inanna's influence extended beyond the borders of Sumeria, as her worship spread to neighboring cultures such as Akkad, Assyria, and Babylonia. In conclusion, Inanna was a multifaceted deity who embodied the complex and contradictory aspects of human experience. As the goddess of love, fertility, war, and wisdom, she played a central role in the religious and cultural life of ancient Mesopotamia. Through her myths and rituals, Inanna offered her followers hope, guidance, and inspiration in the face of life's challenges and uncertainties.